Hi, my name is Ben Arnold. I'm the Vice President of Business Development here at Fortify. And I'm excited to be able to share with you the Tech Talk that gives the complete overview of Fortify's product and services ecosystem. Now, throughout the Tech Talk series, you will get deep dives on many of the individual attributes, the services, the machines, the applications that we're focused on. But this talk, over the next 9.5 minutes, we're going to go through the complete overview of what Fortify is about and how all the sort of pieces of our puzzle fit together. So let's get started. Fortify we're all about bringing polymer matrix composites, advanced photopolymer solutions to the additive manufacturing space. Again, this is covered. This is the ethos of Fortify, is that photopolymers enhanced through additives can open up and unlock new application space. We're excited and we're doing it every day. How do we create value? What is it that Fortify does? It's really kind of simple. We identify application space where enhanced materials plus additive manufacturing, the unique advantages of additive manufacturing, combined with new materials, can add value. We then leverage our hardware materials expertise and our partnerships, our material partnerships, which we'll cover in this talk as well as others, and develop end-to-end application-based solutions. End-to-end meaning the materials, the hardware, the software, and the services together combined to help our customers cross over and have the complete solution to their problems, whether the vectors of material performance are along strength and stiffness, thermal or electromagnetic properties, wear resistance or toughness, any of the vectors that we choose to pursue with the platform. In order to do this, we determined early on that a full stack type of approach was required, a complete hardware, software, and materials solution. As we'll hear in this talk and the others, a material solution like we're pursuing here just will not work with other printers. We had to design our own printers from the ground up and, of course, the software to run them. So what makes us unique? In the hardware system, the two key attributes that you'll hear again in the individual tech talks, one is our CKM, our continuous kinetic mixing. And people have heard this. This has been widely distributed among the press about what Fortify is doing. But this mixing, heating, and recirculation, the ability to keep fibers and particles suspended homogeneously in a mix until they're cured with the light processor, is the key to everything that Fortify does. So all of our printers, as you'll see in the printer lineup, include this CKM module. There's a tech talk that does a deep dive on how CKM works and how it fits into our solution. So I encourage you to check that out. The next, of course, is Flux Print, magnetic alignment. The ability to take fiber, keep it homogeneously mixed through CKM, and then use magnetics to align the fiber to create the best advantage. Here we go. As we can see here, the fibers aligning through magnetics, and that can be aligned any way needed in order to create the material properties of interest. Be sure, of course, to check out Josh Martin's Flux Print Tech Talk as well in the series. So now we take these hardware pieces and implement them into the Fortify Flux family of 3D printers. This is the first time that are really showing the family of 3D printers. We've talked about CKM, we've talked about Flux Print for a year now, but finally we're excited to be able to announce a complete family of 3D printers, the Core, the Flux One, and the Flux 3D. I'll be going over in a minute which the differences between these machines, but let's first talk about what's common about these machines. So they all use the same bottom-up DLP-based light engine. It's an industry standard type of a light engine. So in many ways, we leverage other technology that's in the market. The build platforms, an 8x4.5 XY with a 13-inch Z build envelope, a wide range of Z height resolutions from 25 to 150 microns, a fixed 75 micron XY pitch, so nice high resolution printing, high volume of resin for extended runs, and machines are built for production ready type applications and a very rugged design. You can see by looking at the machines, and certainly when you're in the presence of these machines, standing in front of them, they're very rugged design, which is required to process the wide range of materials, filled, viscous materials that we do process at Fortify. So these are the common features. Now I'd like to walk through each of the printers and say, what is it about that makes them different? Why did we need to have a family of printers that we see here? So first, the Flux Core. And the Flux Core incorporates CKM. Again, all of the machines incorporate CKM. And the key benefits, the ability to process viscous particle-filled resins, and a nice entry point to Fortify technology. Now, in the Flux Core, there is no magnetic alignment. The materials that we process on the Flux Core, like the RF beamforming lens that we see here, all of the RF materials, which there's a special tech talk on the RF materials and the RF application support that we bring, do not have fiber. So there is nothing to align. There's no need for magnetics because the particles are not magnetic and the particles are not alignable. So there's many applications we pursue where we just need to keep particles suspended, and so no need for magnetics, and that's where the Fluxcore comes in. Again, the low loss materials, 2.6 and 4.9 DK for the RF devices. Our ESD material also runs on the Fluxcore, as well as a range of off-the-shelf materials. We'll talk about materials as we get to that point in the talk. The Flux One, the next step up in our product line, is where we start introducing magnetics, and we call Flux Print Z, which is a one-axis, the Z-axis fiber orientation in the Flux One. We'll talk again in the Flux Print talk. We go into a deeper dive about the differences between the Flux Print systems. But if we think about one of the biggest bugaboos or challenges across 3D printing is always Z-axis anisotropy. And now the ability to align fiber in Z helps us overcome that anisotropy and therefore create material properties that have isotropic properties X, Y, and Z. Fortify has unique IP that allows us to magnetize fibers like ceramic fibers, for instance, that are not magnetic in their native state. However, we're able to magnetize them. And the feature use case for the Flux One system would be our digital tooling material and the whole injection mold tooling, as well as other tooling applications that we serve. Be sure to check out the tech talk on the injection molding application, of course. So that's the Flux One. Then we lead to the Flux 3D. The Flux 3D is the machine that incorporates CKM. All the machines have CKM and Flux Print 3D. Now we have the ability to create and orient fibers in 360 degrees, voxel by voxel, layer by layer as we build the part, the ability to align fibers in any axis throughout the part. So now we can design anisotropy, whether it's mechanical, thermal, or electrical. We can design that anisotropy throughout the part to either create flow paths for heat or electricity, or to just create the superior mechanical properties, as we'd see like in a connector application, as you see on the screen here, the ability to actually wrap those fibers around the thin-walled structures that we see in the part. So that's the essence of the three systems: the Flux Core, no magnetics, the Flux One, and the Flux 3D. It's really the same print engine with different levels of mixing, heating, and magnetics. So moving on from the hardware, we move into a software, and there's multiple software packages. The two fundamentals that every 3D printer would have would be Fortify Compass, our setup software, so a complete ecosystem for print jobs, setup and operation, build prep, support generations, custom support generations native to the system, an integrated slicer that prepares the job specifically for our Flux printers, and fiber alignment strategies would all be handled in Fortify Compass. On the machine itself, we operate and interface with the machine through Fortify's Flux host firmware. The onboard printer operation, this is a beautiful 10-inch touchscreen display that the engineering team has really packed a ton of value and information. Of course, print status, time and materials tracking, sensor readings, a live camera feed that allows you to watch the print as it's being generated, and take pictures and do everything that's needed to be able to monitor the system. So those are the basic printer operations. The next piece of software that I'll talk about, and again, this one has a whole a tech talk dedicated to it, is Flux Developer. Now, Flux Developer, let me move my screen here so you can see Flux Developer. Well, trust me, it says Flux Developer there. And really what Flux Developer is Fortify's way of opening up our platform for power users to be able to really push material limits and essentially have all the same tools available to them that our own material development scientists have at Fortify. Full access to customize your own print and save your own print parameters, print setting, exposure settings, mixing, and of course, alignment strategies, as well as a full suite of design of experiment templates that, again, developed by Fortify material scientists to allow us to quickly iterate. We now share that with our customers, and through a set of services, we can either teach you how to do this, we can collaborate with you, we can actually do the work for you. It's a very flexible system that we're excited about because it now opens up and really the ecosystem to really push the limits. There's a tech talk specifically on how we collaborate with material partners. And sure, if that's of interest to you, I certainly encourage you to absorb that. On the materials side, our strategy for developing materials, again, it ties in with Flux Developer and it ties into the overall value proposition of Fortify is we don't formulate base resins. We partner with leading suppliers. Again, in the material tech talk, we'll get a deeper dive on that. But there's plenty of big companies with tremendous materials that we're able to leverage for the base materials. Fortify's job is to optimize an additive package to gain those properties, whether it's mechanical, electrical, thermal, electromagnetic. It's more than one additive is many times needed in order to maintain the balance of these unique properties of interest with still maintaining adequate mechanical properties. And the key materials that we've come out with so far, again, with an applications focus, is digital tooling, our tooling resin that we've attacked the injection mold tool market with, our low loss 2.6 and 4.9 DK materials that are focused on RF devices. Be sure to check out the RF device tech talk, and Phil Lambert goes into great detail on how we can help you achieve your goals there. Our thermal conductivity material, again, one of the key focuses of the Flux 3D is a thermally conductive material that's also electrically insulating. Very exciting stuff, and the ability to align particles so that we not only have thermal conductivity, but we can direct that thermal conductivity to the application requirements. And then the industry's first static dissipative photopolymer, so high resolution, high temperature material for the ESD application space. An open platform note. Now remember, we talked about the Flux Developer package, which really opens up the system to almost any photopolymer. But Fortify is on a selective basis qualifying off-the-shelf materials for our printers. So as we grow into the market, we'll have a list on our website. Will be all of the materials, the standard materials. We have a few Henkel materials today that are qualified off-the-shelf materials because sometimes you just want to print a 3D part. You don't always need the highest performance materials. And the Flux platform, all three of the Flux printers would be open to run those sort of off-the-shelf materials as well. That list will continue to grow over time. And then the value add services. Another thing, remember, we talked from the beginning about end-to-end solutions that Fortify is focused on. It's not just materials, but it's an end-to-end solution. Our injection mold onboarding program is a great example of that. It's a training program. Again, watch the tech talk on injection mold tooling if that's an area of interest for you. And we talk about not only how we do it, but we actually have one of our customers on talking about how the experience has helped them launch their new business. But we really teach everything we know about how to get the best results using 3D printed tooling with the onboarding program. In the RF category, we have a device design support where we're able to share best practices to leverage gradient refractive index technology to design new and powerful RF devices. We don't just provide you with the materials, but a complete end-to-end ecosystem, how to turn those into valuable product. And then the material development support that goes along with Flux Developer, which is really an ability to collaborate with Fortify's material scientists in a number of ways, whether it's coaching services that you need, hand-to-hand collaboration, or if it's just a project that you want to turn over to Fortify and let our team develop those materials for you. We can customize a program around Flux Developer to suit your needs. And that really is the overview. I hope I did it in 9 minutes. I thank you for your attention very much. And certainly we would encourage you to enjoy the rest of the Fortify Tech Talks. We put a lot of work into this, into the Tech Talks. We put a lot of work into the entire product ecosystem. We're so happy that you're here to share it with us. And then the next step, talk to us. Let us review your application. I'm guessing if you made it this far in the presentation, you have some kind of an application that the rest of the industry, the off-the-shelf printers and materials have not been able to scratch your itch. And we certainly look forward to having a chance to work with you. Thanks very much.